Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're doing really well as always. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of my most hated guitars, I guess you could say, aesthetically. Some guitars that I think are just really ugly or just don't really do it for me personally. Now, before we get rolling with all this, I just want to preface this video with, this is all in the name of good time and good spirit. I'm not setting out to offend anybody here or upset anybody. If you guys own any of these guitars and you absolutely love them, that's absolutely cool. Guitars at the end of the day are personal preference. I'm sure you can see on the wall behind me, I've got some absolutely ridiculous shapes there, which I know aren't ready for everybody. So like I said, this is all in good spirit, all in the name of a good time. So let's have fun with this. Okay, so starting off at the top now with number one. This is more of a minor niggle really, and a little bit of me splitting hairs rather than, oh my god, why on earth does that thing exist? It's this Jackson Corey Beaulieu signature guitar, the guy from Trivium. Now, Jackson guitars, I mean, I've got one lurking on the back wall there. I absolutely love Jackson guitars. They're sort of the, if you think of a flying V shape, you kind of think Jackson guitars, or at least I do anyway. They've made some glorious looking guitars in the past. But this guitar, for some reason, just really, really annoys me. And I think it's quite obvious what it is. And I think it's more so with the 7-string version of it as well. And a lot of you will probably be quite surprised here because you guys know that I'm a flying V kind of guy. I absolutely love playing a V. They're probably my favorite guitar to play. But this one right here, the one thing that really annoys me on it, it's the cutaways down the bottom. For some reason, to me, it just looks like it's been chewed on or in some sort of accident, like a dog's got hold of it, or maybe it fell down the stairs and a big chunk of it got taken out on the wings down the bottom. I get it. When you get a signature guitar, you can't just take a standard model that the company's making and just stick your name on it. You've got to make it a little bit unique to you. I completely understand that, especially if you've been playing these guitars for a while and you absolutely love them. Your train of thought would be, well, I love the standard Jackson King V. Can we not just stick my name on it? But you've got to make it a little bit more unique to you, I guess. So that's, I guess that's what they came up with. Let's do these squiggles down the bottom, and I don't know. I think I'm splitting hairs here, but to me, it just really annoys me because that is otherwise a really nice looking guitar. The 7-string mostly looks a little bit silly in my opinion. Just the size of that headstock. It makes the body look absolutely tiny, and I know that kind of comes with the 7-string territory. Again, I think I'm splitting hairs here with this one, but I think the body with the little cutaways and stuff, the zigzags, it just makes the body look tiny, and then that big neck and big headstock. I can only imagine the neck dive that probably comes with having that guitar. Maybe it's a little bit more balanced out because the headstock's inverted, but I imagine the head dive on that thing is absolutely nuts. But yeah, it's just... To me, it's a great looking guitar, but it's just the little zigzags on the fins that really don't do it for me. And it's just, you've taken a really great looking guitar there and just made the body look absolutely tiny. But that's the first one on my list. That's more of a niggle than anything, because otherwise, like I said, it is a great looking guitar. It's just those zigzags. Surely you could have done something else to make it a little bit more sort of unique to you, but I might be wrong here. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so we're really getting into it now. And this next one, man, I've had a long hatred for this guitar shape, and it's the Jackson Warrior. Now I know some people absolutely love this shape, but to me, with guitar shapes and stuff like that, it just, I've got no words for it. It just feels like scraping the barrel, I guess. It just I've just got no words for it. I mean, look at it. I'm sorry, but especially with the inverted headstock there, I don't know. It just looks cheap, in my opinion. And again, I know a lot of people seem to love these, but it's just the shape is just. Oh man, I'm lost for words. Sorry. I remember back in high school, I think it was sixth form. When you go into sixth form, you have a load of people from different schools come in, so people you've never met before. And I was talking to this one guy that I hadn't met, and there was a music shop in the town where I was in school, and I bought my Dave Mustaine V from there. And I was telling him a bit about that. And he said, oh, I'm getting a guitar from there as well. And I was like, oh, cool. Which one? It's like the Jackson Warrior they've got. And I was like, okay. And then a couple of months or whatever it was passed. And then he showed me on his phone, pictures of him with it and stuff. And I remember like, he was really made up with it, and he was so happy with it, and you could see in the picture the big smile on his face as he was holding it, and because for some that's a really cool out there guitar shape, I guess. And I remember trying to be sort of nice about it and trying to be sort of excited for him, but like on the side I was just thinking to myself, man, that's one ugly guitar. So I didn't want to ruin it for him, but yeah, that to me, it just kind of looks like somebody got like a blob of paint and just went, threw it down. It's like, oh, there's our next guitar shape, So I know this is probably absolute sacrilege for people who really enjoy these guitars, and they've got guitar players who absolutely love these shapes. But for me, it just looks so out of proportion and so cheap, in my opinion. Is that the right word? I don't know. It just looks like it's trying to be extreme. I think BC Rich made a shape similar to this as well. What's it? Is it the Stealth? Is it? And that's equally as horrendous in my opinion. As a matter of fact, the Jackson's a little bit more angular, which kind of saves it, I suppose, compared to the BC Rich, which is more rounded. Again, it just looks like somebody got paint and just threw the paint, splat, and it's like, oh, there's your shape, right? So the two, I suppose, the Jackson's the better one. But yeah, these guitars, not for me personally. Let me know, guys, do you own one of these? Do you enjoy playing it? Am I way off here? Is that something I'm missing out on? Do I need to play one of these, to really appreciate it? Do you enjoy owning it? If you have it, is it everything you hoped and dreamed it would be? Because at the end of the day, who am I to tell you what's ugly and what's nice, So that's my number 2. Okay, this next one, I definitely think I'm going to have some people agree with me here on. I can't imagine not, because when this thing surfaced online, loads of people hated it. And when people first saw it at concerts and stuff like that, and maybe a few of you might know what's coming here, but this is a bit of an abomination in my opinion. So I've got the picture here. It's the Mark Tremonti PRS Explorer. And I can't imagine, or rather I can imagine, the uproar, because PRS are a very boutique-y, guitar company. People who play PRS guitars, they're absolutely lifers. Like the Alter Bridge guys, Mark and Miles, they've predominantly, or if not always, played PRS, I think, for the most part of their career. And everybody who likes PRS, they seem to own, they don't just seem to own one of them, they seem to have like 10, from what I've seen. Like, they're absolutely lifers for them, and they make some beautiful, beautiful guitars. I used to own one myself in my previous teaching career. It was my workhorse. It was really, really great guitar. But this, I mean, I get the idea, like Explorers, who doesn't want to play an Explorer if you're a big metalhead? Like James Hetfield is the first thing that you think of, or Scorpions or whatever. So it's kind of like, if you've been with the company for a while, I suppose you would start to think to yourself, oh, what if we took, the ideas that we've had so far and we tried to make an Explorer out of it? That could be really cool. And I get the idea, but what actually came to be and what manifested itself is it's another thing entirely. I mean, look at it, man. Like I said, I imagine the purists for PRS just must absolutely hate that. And to me, it's just so wrong. Like, I don't know. We're so accustomed to seeing the PRS shape. If you look at the headstock and you're going along, it's like everything's fine. Then you get to the body and it's like, what's going on there? And yeah, I don't think I really need to say much more on this thing, if I'm honest with you guys. It kind of speaks for itself. It's just, it's just so wrong, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, I love Flying V's, I love Explorers, all the cool shapes, shapes that might not be for everybody, but that, I just don't get it. It just doesn't look right, and You know, maybe again I'm missing out on something here, and I don't think that is something that's going to go into production. I think I saw an article recently, and I think they're literally just built for Mark, and that's it. But to me, it's just weird. So that's my number 3 right there, the Mark Tremonti Explorer PRS. Okay, so my last one, and again, this is just, maybe I'm missing something. You know, some of these designs are quite old now, so I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't brought up around them, like looking at them being on shop shelves or whatever. But this thing is again, this is, yeah. Okay, so it's the Dean Cadillac. Okay, and we all know what this is trying to be, right? And well, I'm not going to go into the whole Dean Gibson thing because this isn't that kind of channel. But you know, if you think about a Les Paul Custom, you know, the one that's really desirable amongst guitar players is that black one with the white binding, gold hardware, or maybe black hardware, right? And you know, I'm not a Les Paul player myself. I don't really get on with them. They kind of sit kind of like clunky on me, and I keep shifting them around, and they're just not a comfortable guitar for me. I don't enjoy playing Les Pauls, but I think they're really, really pretty. And I absolutely love the black with the gold hardware or the black hardware, and the white binding is really what sells it to me. But this thing, I just don't know what it's trying to be. I think, well, I know what it's trying to be, I guess, but I think the thing is with this is I've never really liked the Dean headstock. I get it on like some of the Razorbacks and stuff like that, and on the ML shape, the dime guitars. I completely get that, but you kind of associate that with dime, and it's a look and it's an image, and he pulls it off, you know. But for any other guitar, that headstock, I just never, it's never really done it for me. It's just a bit too wacky in my opinion. So, you know, you got that, and then you come in onto the body, which is sort of a Les Paul, but then it's got this weird Explorer horn on the bottom of it. And even, as a matter of fact, the whole front end of it, if you look, is kind of like an Explorer before it rounds off at the back. And it's just, it's just two worlds that shouldn't have collided, in my opinion. You know, aesthetically, it's got all the ingredients to be a very pretty guitar. You know, the gold hardware, the white binding. But shape-wise, it's just, oh, man. There's another one here in black. I guess this one's a little bit better, but Floyd Rose on it as well. That's a massive preference thing. But Floyd Roses on Les Pauls have always been kind of a bit of a taboo subject amongst guitar players. I don't think it really adds to the guitar visually at all. You know, if you think of a Les Paul, you're thinking stop tailpiece, right? But yeah, this video has pretty much had me lost for words on a lot of these guitars, actually. It's probably turned out to be a lot less entertaining than I planned it on being. But I mean, oh man, come on. It's just especially going back to this gold one here, it's just who would want that? I just don't understand, you know. It's trying to be sort of like vintagey and classy. But then, so I kind of get that a little bit with the shape, but then that headstock on the end, it's like, that is not vintagey and classy, in my opinion. I don't know. I just don't get it. And like I said, I'm probably missing something here. I don't mean to lace this video with a load of spite and hate, you know, because they could play absolutely perfectly. There are guitars out there that visually don't do it for people, but they just play like butter, you know what I mean? So maybe this is the case right here. But let me know, do you guys own one of these? Do you really like it? Is that, you know, when you think of your dream guitar, you know, is that it? You know, I'm not trying to be mean here, but you know, is that like, yeah, that's the guitar for me, for you? And let me know down below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. So there you go, guys. There's 4 guitars that have a serious lack of understanding on my part, and maybe that's my problem. But I think the worst one has got to be that Mark Tremonti guitar, just looking at it now. And, oh, man. You know, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised PRS even agreed to do that, you know, because they're kind of, they're not really a guitar company that makes loads of different shapes. You know what a PRS looks like, right? So that is probably one of the biggest curveballs they've thrown in quite a while. So I hope this video has been reasonably entertaining for you guys. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this quaint little video, please be sure to hit the like button or even hit the dislike button if you didn't. And if you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. So thanks for hanging out today, guys. And until next time, stay well, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Peace.